Right then, everybody. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good whatever it is, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this video. My name is Paul. I'm also called Knickknack. I'm happily back in front of a Mac, or by the side of a Mac, so I'm genuinely happy, which sounds incredibly geeky, but hey, there you go. At any rate, and to the point, my name is Paul. I do Knickknack's Daily Teaser, a set of fun quizzes. I do Knickknack's Old Peculiar, the world's most repetitive blog. I talk about movies, as and when I get a chance to see them. And I talk about TV shows I'm watching and that I think would interest you, or at least I think my thoughts about said shows would interest you. At the moment, and over the past few weeks, I've been watching the fourth series of Apple TV Plus's For All Mankind, and last night was the 30th of December, almost the last day of 2023. Tonight is the last day of 2023, and I've got nothing better to do except tell you what I thought about Legacy. Episode 8, Legacy, opens not with a traditional summary of earlier episodes, but shows us former Roscosmos chief scientist Sergei Nikolov, Piotr Adamczyk, now resident in Garden City, Iowa, with his new wife Muriel, and slowly getting more and more bored with his life as a science teacher in a small school. It's a life he's finding repetitive, boring, and one that he finds galling because he's being ignored by all of his students, by the one or two enthusiastic ones that crop up in every single one of his classes. It's not until one day he and his wife get to see the news that tells them that Margot Madison, his old contact in NASA, defected to the USSR, not long after he defected to the USA. Post-titles and back on Mars, things are taking something of a turn. For starters, Samantha Massey, Tyler Rushing, and Ed Baldwin, Joel Kinnaman, are having a meeting in Miles, Toby Kebbell's, bar. Samantha was pleased about getting Admiral Baldwin's support during the strike, but not so happy now that Ed seems to be working with Dev Aisha, Edie Gathegi, not happy that the pair want her to do something expensive, unwise, and just a little bit dangerous. Do you get the feeling there's going to be a cliffhanger involved? Now, what did I make of this episode of Legacy? Of how it was structured, how it worked, how the plot moved forward, how all sorts of stuff happened, and more particularly, why it was called Legacy. The reason it's called Legacy is completely beyond me. I will be thoroughly honest with you there. I have no idea why this episode is called Legacy. I really don't. Goldilocks was fairly obvious. It's the nickname for the asteroid that everybody's after. The opening episode, Glasnost, is all about the USA and the USSR working together, and the USSR opening up to look fairer, brighter, and more open and what have you. Leningrad is about the shenanigans, the diplomatic manoeuvring in the city of the same name, one that in the real world we now call St. Petersburg after it's had its name changed a few times. But that's why it's called Leningrad. Crossing the line again seemed obvious to me. It sees various characters in it crossing various types of metaphorical or actual lines of emotional or physical or pick it, lines, crossing the line. But why Legacy is called Legacy, I have no blessed idea. Please leave me a comment in the comment box down below. If you do, I would appreciate hearing about it. But at any rate, the episode itself was another beautifully told tale, one with multiple threads running through it. One of those threads, the one that caught my eye, was Dev Aisha's plan to steal the asteroid. Legacy shows us the opening stages of what looks like a good old-fashioned heist movie. It shows us Alida Rosales and Margot Madison, the good guys, if you will, played by Coral Pena and Lorraine Schmidt, respectively, explaining how they're planning to get the asteroid to Mars and then from Mars to Earth. And Dev and his gang of cronies are planning how are they going to steal it from under the noses of NASA and Helios? It has to be said, that set of scenes, that little heist storyline's one of my favourite in this episode, alongside Ed persuading his young grandson Alex to crawl into a locked storage vault through a very narrow air vent to get a vitally needed part. That was actually quite edge of the seat stuff. I always find scenes where somebody has to go through an air vent to be quite claustrophobic and very, very watchable. I don't think I'd be able to cope going through an air vent to get somewhere. So it's a frightening thing for me to see. It really is quite tense to watch. But it glued me to my seat. It was quite something to watch. But there are other threads as well, not least the slowly growing relationship between Ed and Alex that lets Ed talk his young grandson into doing a quick job for him. There's the equally distant relationship and Cold War threads of the relationship between Margot and Alida. And there's a plot that sees Sergei, Margot's old KGB contact, or Roscosmos contact, that sees Sergei slowly trying and then succeeding in contacting Margot and dropping one hell of a warning right towards the end of the episode. It's not the twist, it's not the cliffhanger, it's just one hell of a dropped-in warning. Frankly, I have got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed Legacy, especially how they staged the heist sections of the episode and the twisty endings there. Frankly, I am going to be back next week for Brazil. Right then, with all of that said, done, dusted and swept under the carpet, it's time for a little bit of a goodbye. I will see you the next time I see you, but I will say a couple of things before I go. First off, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, please hit the notification bell. That way, the next time I release a video, and it'll be tomorrow morning, that'll be one of the teasers, you will be told about it, especially when, and I'm assuming you're interested in my next review of the next episode, you'll find out about that as well. I will also be watching that next episode, Brazil, on Monday the 8th of January 2024. It'll be the first one of the year, and I will be putting my written and video reviews up on the 9th of January. I will hopefully see you then. I will leave you here and now, and I will say one last thing. If you're marking it, have a very happy new year. Here's hoping it goes well for all of us. Take care, have fun, be seeing you. Have a good time.